What a great sight to wake up to. Two Evos nestled away. Hey, come back. What are you doing? We gotta go. It's 1 p.m. and we're supposed to get breakfast like 4 hours ago.
We're getting brunch.
So
it's Sunday, okay?
It's our first day off. We get Sundays off. And today we're going to just get some food. And then what are we doing with the Evos?
Getting them aligned.
It's a real fun Sunday date. We're gonna go align our Evos together.
How cute.
Colette's gonna learn how to do her first alignment. I'm gonna show her on the rack and
I need mirrors.
I'm not gonna lie, I keep downplaying it, but it is the sketchiest place in the world to drive without mirrors.
Yeah.
Go to the Vegas Strip with this thing. We pulled up to Caesars with like probably the most chaotic traffic in the world with no mirrors.
I told you I didn't want to drive it. And you're like, nah, it's fine. I drive in a Halo all the time.
Colette has my old brakes. I lent them to her because her brakes are kind of old and not so great, so I gave her my two-piece rotors and Brembos to use from my old setup. And they squeak so loud, and it's funny because she always used to give me crap about it. Now they're on her car. She hates it so much. She had to have the nice brakes though. And she's out. Poor Colette having to get out of her car to take a ticket because she had to be right-hand drive. All jokes aside, that's kind of been an issue here when it's come to like parking and stuff. We've created a few traffic jams having to get out of the other side of the car so we can take a ticket to park places just because Vegas is Vegas, baby. You know? The city that always gambles. Your brakes are triggering me.
You would park in this spot next to the Lonely Drivers Club car.
Does it say that?
Yeah, look.
Oh, I didn't even see
Broken
that.
heart.
We're friends now. We
It's
can
like,
be friends.
Emo boy.
Yeah, I literally feel like it's my car making the squeaking noise because I got so triggered and used to my car squeaking every time I drove it.
Now you've passed that awesomeness on to me.
I appreciate my brakes so much more now.
It's so embarrassing. I
really
don't
is.
remember it being this loud. I swear people look at me and think my car is like falling apart. So thanks for that.
Is it?
What do you mean?
Is your car falling apart?
I mean, looking ratchet with no mirrors. It's making a clunking noise every time I turn. So I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out later if it's falling apart.
Fun fact, the person with the lonely driver plate was actually a girl. So, Itsuki, if you're looking for your girl, she's in Las Vegas. We ate at this place called Public US. It's like kind of like a breakfast brunch spot. I highly recommend it. It's in kind of not the best area in like the Fremont district, but the food was amazing. Highly recommend it. I made a post on Instagram asking you guys if there's a place that I could go to use an alignment rack in Las Vegas. And a lot of you guys recommended a shop called Kaiju Motorsports, which coincidentally is going to be on the Bang & Gear show, I believe tomorrow. So we're gonna head over there. They're gonna let us use the rack and we're gonna get the cars dialed in. So I took my Evo for a couple laps on the track just to try to see how it was feeling, and that's part of the reason why I'm taking it to get alignment. And it was dancing around so much on braking that it felt out of control. And I'll put some footage on here. I had a similar issue at Grid Life, and I thought it was alignment related, but I think I might have figured it out.
And brake, turn in.
Little unstable on the brakes. I wonder if a little bit's from me putting a tire on the rumble strip.
It could be. There you go. Oh, I feel it. There you go.
Yeah, it's like it's locking up one of the wheels.
Yeah.
It's gotta be an alignment thing.
Probably.
I don't know why I didn't think of this. For whatever reason, I thought this car didn't have ABS, but it has ABS. And the ABS light is on. So maybe I wore through one of the sensors and maybe it's pulsing certain brakes, but not others. I don't know if that's something that ABS control could do because it feels like it's locking up the rear, but not locking up the front. So maybe there's some sort of issue in the wiring or one of the lines or something is going on where it's only locking up the rear brakes. And my brakes are almost acting like a hydro when ABS is working on the front, but not working in the rear. All right, so we made it to Kaiju. This is Brian. Very cool shop, but I have to say my favorite thing in here, your wall of raised boxes.
We're trying to complete it all the way.
I feel you on
That's
that.
the goal. Yeah.
I thought I had a big wall of raised boxes, but I think you got me beat. And you're going through some unfortunate Subaru woes right now.
Yes, typical Subaru problems.
So this was the head on a very fancy motor. Can I show your fancy billet motor?
Of course.
I've never seen a Subaru engine out of the car. and there's a lot going on. What do you think about this situation?
Looks weird.
Yeah, I got one of these now, so I gotta make sure I understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't need to take my engine out, but it's pretty cool. So you'll be on the show tomorrow?
Yes, we'll be participating tomorrow, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
This is making me so excited for my alignment rack.
Finally.
I've been scared to put it in the ground just because the commitment of like cutting the pit and my beautiful shop floors.
Well, we're not sure if we'll go there, but right now it's leaning towards that being the only option.
It's so nice to have as just like a rack to use too.
Yeah. And this one's really nice.
Alright, hold on. It's like damn near close to zero. So this would explain why the car's pulling to the right. Your car will always pull towards the wheel with less camber. And in the front, I have about half a degree less on the right. And in the rear, pretty similar, a little bit less. My thought is my camber gauge is not zeroed correctly because it read accurate on both sides, but if the ground wasn't level where it was zeroed, that would explain why my car's kind of skewed. Camber from that, or if I want to get my camber from the top.
I use SAI as well sometimes to kind of get an idea.
I did some investigative journalism and went back and watched an old video from Good Life and realized that my ABS light came on halfway through, which pointed to the fender well where I rubbed through the harness. And sure enough, two of the wires lost the plug completely, so I cut the other side of the plug off and I'm just gonna pin them together, and it turned the ABS light off, which explains why the car started braking terribly after that event. It's probably something ABS related, so I'm stoked to hopefully be able to brake with confidence now. Let the record hold in the time that it's taken both of us to do our alignments. Your car went from having the motor out to running. Yeah. Also,
No. I'm so sorry. I'm going.
Good old Crispy. Really cool shop. Really appreciate the hospitality. A lot of cool builds too. But overall, I'm stoked. I got my alignment fixed. I got my ABS issues sorted out. And I've also got a little solution to my overflowing coolant reservoir with some zip ties and a line rig. It's actually pointing right here so I can see if it starts pushing again. I got a new radiator cap from them, so we'll see if that's something to do with it. But it's weird because the car doesn't get hot, but it builds a lot of pressure. So fingers crossed it's not a head issue. I underestimated the amount of tools I was gonna need, so I'm running to Home Depot so I can grab an impact and some other random stuff just so I can be self-sufficient. I can stop borrowing people's stuff. It's a new day, we got new guests, and one of my absolute all-time favorite cars and people is here. Rob, good to see you.
Hello, you too, man.
This thing looks better than ever.
Yes, and the looks are my least favorite part about the car. It's everything it does. Yeah.
Sick. Well, I didn't film any of your road course action, but it was great and it sounded beautiful. I'm probably gonna film you pulling out like a fanboy and then hopefully get some shots of you later tonight.
That sounds good.
So.
Okay. I'll give you a little flame. Hopefully at least.
All right.
You can see there were flames.
Also, I have to extend a massive thank you for saving our oil leak issue. I don't know if you can explain what was going on in our car, but you called it from across the country.
Yeah, so actually this is full circle, but if any of you guys saw Adam on my channel a couple of years ago, I went to show him a launch in this car and my clutch was completely covered in oil. And several years later, he had the exact same problem. There's a special screw in the very back of a 4-rotor engine that isn't on a 3-rotor or 2-rotor, and so my problem became his problem many years later, so it passed on. It was full circle. So I was like, hey, check that screw, and sure enough, apparently that was the problem. So
full circle.
Yeah.
what Nitro RC cars smell like. I don't think I filmed anything about this car showing up, but Angelitos came through and saved the day and brought my S13 that has been stationed at Tanner Fox's shop out here so I could have some fun with it. But as you can see, it's been sitting for quite some time, and she could use some love. So in between interviews, which we're shooting now with the car owners going over their builds, I'm just gonna wrench on it a little bit and go over a couple before I start beating on it. I cannot wait to wash this thing with the first thing that I'm trying to focus on. I popped open the fuel cell because I was worried it wasn't even gonna start. And I don't know how much you guys are gonna be able to see, but the gas is like rusty brown with a bunch of dirt and debris, so I'm gonna try to clean it out before I try to really start driving this thing. Last time I drove it, I had some rivets that popped out, but thankfully I've got some self-tappers that are just the right size to blow through the rivets, so I'll replace those, and then that should give a little bit better holding force than the tiny rivets that were in it before. Good as new. This is what's in my first fuel filter. Take a look at this. All this gunk is caught in my first stage fuel filter. How crazy is that? Got a couple self-tappers to fix the broken taillight. It was fun working on a car that I don't need to care about. All right, drag racer friend, you better be faster than everyone here.
We're gonna give it our best shot. The prep isn't amazing, but at least there's some stick out there. And we'll give it our best shot here.
I don't think I'm allowed to show your times in my video because it's proprietary to the show. However, I'm curious what you predict to run on an unprepped surface with this John.
I think if we leave somewhat decent, which I think we will be able to, I don't see why we won't see 920 out of this thing.
All right, that'll be real good.
And
I think that'll be faster than the all-wheel drive Civic went.
so optimistically, I think we see 890.
All right.
So we'll see what happens.
Maybe see a little wheelie?
Maybe. I got the little sensor on there now though, so I'm trying not to wheelie anymore because I'm scared to break some stuff.
True.
But I could always turn it down a little bit, let it come up.
Just a tiny little one.
See what
Little
happens,
one.
though.
Just
I'm
play
excited.
Peekaboo.
Yep.
I'm so excited to see this thing out there. Brian got his car back together and he's about to run it for the first time on the drag strip with the new motor setup. He was out. I want to see the slip because that seemed like a good launch. I have to get a clip of this real quick because this is a moment that I'll probably never forget. I'm out used car shopping with Forsberg, Mad Mike.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Turk.
We just
Dean's over there.
We bought a Kiwi to buy a G-Tar.
And
A little redly, blew a little black smoke, but black smoke's better than...
She's ready to race.
She's a little ready to race you at least.
It's a little purple. That's right. We got a race. It's a little purple.
It's very purple.
you wish it was a Viper?
No.
It was a good time. It's a memory we won't forget, and hopefully it doesn't break.
I just can't believe we've been given 67 grand to buy this thing. It seems ludicrous. Like New Zealand dollars, that's like 100 grand.
Yeah, but coming up, go buy something else.
But it's 67
American.
American grand, man. That's right, man. And we just bought a GTR.
I think the funniest thing about this whole scenario is we left the car running in front of the dealership.
Keeping it warm.
But we didn't tell the production crew, so they're all there.
They're waiting for us to come in.
They're gonna see the car running, and they didn't know that we just walked over to 7-Eleven because
We're busy.
we wanted some candy. Big wad of cash.
That's a freaking stack of cash, brother. Thanks.
And
Appreciate
this,
that.
and this is what you choose.
The band, quick.
We're in the middle of Vegas traffic. Chris is out of the car, looking under the hood because we're trying to figure out how to switch this thing to flex fuel. That way we can go fill it up and make some more power. Found a dyno graph. He's giving us a little information, but did you figure it out?
Not yet.
Try. Late night hangs in the shop. Crew's all here hanging out, getting the car ready for tomorrow. Turk is actually driving this thing, which is pretty cool. You put down a great lap today.
Quick.
I'm not allowed to say the time in my video or any of the results.
We went quick.
Let's just say you make me want to own my fourth Mark V Super.
Everything's for sale.
Yeah?
Everything's for sale for the right price.
Well, I heard your price tag on this and it's not cheap, but it is cool. I was checking out his wing. It's very neat. I would love a wing like this as much as I love the Street Hunter wing. If I could have like a quick swap when I actually need the arrow. Pretty neat. You drove good, kid.
Did good. It's not like Evo cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's pretty
All
cool.
my Evo buddies are like that.
Yeah, except the fact that I'm sitting here tuning my plugs and you're playing with stickers.
I'm gonna go back to my hotel and go to sleep.
I know, and I'm gonna work on this thing and try to get it right. I'm about to take the S13 for a rip, make sure that thing isn't running like junk. I cleaned out the fuel system. I got the bumpers back on, so it looks like a complete car. Next up would be washing it, but and doing an oil change. But I'll make sure it's good first. Chris made it up here and brought one of the coolest cars on the show so far.
Yo, what's going on?
I haven't seen this thing before. I know you're busy, but can I interrupt you and you give me a 30-second rundown on the car?
Absolutely.
All right, go.
S15 Spec R, lightning yellow, fully built Mosworks, 3071 Garrett. Just gave it a nice refresh, all OEM aero, brand new HKS coilovers, concave T-Eaves, some Recaros.
Is it a is it a Strucker motor?
It's got a little something going.
Yeah.
A little something.
This will be the first S15 on the show, so I hope it makes me proud. Have you driven it yet with the new setup and the sticky tires and everything?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, we just got to figure out traction, but yeah, it goes pretty good.
Yeah? I'm excited to see it. The cool thing is this track, there's really only one straightaway. The rest of it's momentum, so as long as your suspension's pretty good and the tires are good, like...
Yeah, did all brand new inner and outer tie rods, got all the ISR Pro Arms from Drift HQ, brand new HKS coilovers, Toyo sponsored the R88Rs, so we're good there. We should be good.
Car looks good?
We should be good. Yeah.
Stoked to see it.
All OEM aero now, and had a full kit on it before, but put the OEM wing on, brand new OEM hood, OEM trunk.
It's good, but it ain't got nothing on this whip right here. Speaking of which, I gotta run and go turn my coolant fans on. I forgot. Please don't overheat. Oh, we're good. All right, let's see if old girl can do a pull without breaking up. This is the opposite of an Adam LZ car. When she gets down, usually. All right, let's see. All right, she's got a little pep in her step. Let's see what she does. It worked! It worked! Hooray! Big smiles. I'm glad I put fresh fuel in it. The alignment's terrible, but that's okay. I'm out of time to mess with it tonight, but I think the Evo might have that rocker arm issue again where it flew off on track, probably in decel. I'm gonna pull the valve cover off tomorrow. Gotta get out of here tonight, so unfortunately I can't dive into it anymore, but plugs didn't do the trick for fixing a little breakup. We got all the bumpers on this thing now. Super's getting rowdy. Looks like a complete car. Just needs a wash and oil change. She'll be ready to shred. Got my chauffeur that just showed up. The lightning yellow S15.
Let's go!
Off to gamble. Just kidding, we don't have time for that. You gotta give me a pull when we go on the highway. It's been too long since I've been in a good SR.
Should we hit a little 28 or we want to do 18?
No, 18 pounds is fine. Sounds good.
That was pretty good.
That was 18 pounds?
That was 18, yeah.
You said you were on 28 on pump gas or on ethanol?
Pump.
You're crazy. How does that even happen?
She still holds together.
One of my favorite things about this show is it brings everyone to the same location. So in 3 weeks, I'm able to hang out with friends and people that I haven't met before that I want to meet, all in the same place. And look who showed up today.
We're here.
And I've never gotten to see this car in person, and it is
Really?
really, really cool.
Yeah, take a look, man. It's pretty sick. This was my pride and joy when we first built it, dude. My absolute like dream build. You know, R35 GTR as a kid. You know, you're like looking at it like. Was able to attain it. We did the Varis kit on it. Varis Kamikaze, kind of made it my own with the non-wide body version. And then my favorite color ever, Millennium Jade.
I love this kit on the car because I feel like this is how a lot of the people in Japan build the 35s.
Absolutely.
And in the States, I feel like they're kind of cookie cutter. People use the same wide bodies. They do the same thing. They wrap the car.
And it like goes like kind of like over the edge a little bit, where like this one is like a lot of stuff done, but in moderation. You know, it's very nice.
I love the fact that you painted it. That's gangster.
Got to.
Were you triggered when they released a car in this same color?
I wasn't triggered, but I was like, damn, I did it first, you know?
Yeah,
That's
hell
sick.
yeah. I
That's
like that
sick.
attitude.
Yeah.
That's sick.
But yeah, it's cool that now the color is like an OEM color.
I know.
You know, so like now I had it before that. You know?
That's cool. Well, I'm stoked to see you whip this thing, dude.
It's gonna be fun, dude. We're gonna go rip.
Gonna go test the ABS fix and some alignment changes. See how the car feels now. Just as I suspected, the rocker arm has left the chat, but luckily it's not like an SR and it's really easy to put back on. Just pick this little guy up, pop back on there, get a flathead, wedge it in place, and then back out on track I go. Popping the valve cover on wouldn't be that difficult, but we already had a used gasket that's been on and off a couple times and it's starting to get cooked up. We used the old silicone trick on the last time, so it's gonna be very difficult to clean it. So I think I'm gonna wait until I can get a new OEM gasket because the odds of this sealing well is very slim. I've been trying to align this thing, which is like one of the last steps other than doing an oil change, and it has been driving me absolutely crazy. The toe arms on it are very bent, and then I can't get the bolt out in front and the eccentrics are stripped. The center doesn't turn, so I'm having to pull off the ends by the shock and then spin those to adjust the alignment, which is a very slow process. I did one donut. I'm working on this car all day, and then the clutch pedal stopped working. Oh, now it's back. Something weird's going on with this thing. I gotta figure it out. That's not a good thing to be happening. Maybe I'll just re-bleed it. Just in the nick of time, I got the Evo fix. New gasket on, she's purring, and hopefully she makes boost. It's like 5 degrees outside, and Colette went and got us jackets. And of course, she got us matching jackets.
New album dropping.
Yeah!
Huh?
Well, I would have put a yellow one for me, but they didn't have one on my size.
All right, time for the show. Official behind the scenes with Omar, staging up a photo.
Estamos aquí poniendo los carros en línea para tomar una foto.
Ah, qué bonita. Sí, los carros, muy bien. Toma una foto, pronto.
I need to back up.
Those were some very close races.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
I know.
That was fun.
I just bleeped everything you said because I can't share the results.
Oh, yeah.
But it was sick.
It was sick.
There we go.
It's a good action, dude.
Butters, chill. What are you doing?
I'm being gentle.
That's not the right response.